Hey, hi everybody. We're Astrotech, and this is our planning presentation. I'm the project manager, and this is my team. You can see it all written there. So today's presentation, we're going to start with the executive summary, then we'll talk about our WBS and LRC, and then after that, we will just go system by system and talk about how long each system is going to take. So for the executive summary, we're expecting our project to take a total of 20 weeks. Planning will take 1 week, construction will go for about 16, with them subdivided into different parts. The C test should take about 1 week, and delivery should cover 2. So this is a mock-up of our Gantt chart. It's a shortened version because the original version does not show well on a PowerPoint screen. But basically, under each of plan, order, receive, construct, install, and test, you can imagine all of the subsystems, and I'll show a backup slide at the end of this to show what that means. Same with under C test and delivery. So for our WBS, we have just the breakdown of it, and you can kind of see the subsystems that I have there. And there's a cutout of our LRC just showing what each of us is supposed to do with each of the subsystems. And it's that way for all of them. So they all kind of are pretty much the same until delivery. Delivery has two parts. It's got the post-test inspections and then the delivery, and each subsystem has one for each.
So for Hull and Deck, as far as planning is concerned, this is probably one of the first steps that you have to design and construct, as it is like the most important step in making sure that the schedule is on time and you're making sure that every other step after is able to meet their schedules as well. Parts will be ordered in bulk around week 3 and will be received around week 4. Each of these will be 1 week in duration. Construction will occur for 8 weeks during weeks 5 through 12. This is to fabricate and manipulate the aluminum sheets, supports into the shape of the boat that we designed, weld and assemble the boat, and then finally paint and coat the exterior. Testing will occur around week 13 after construction is completed. And you can see the schedule down below, or the Gantt chart below.
Good evening, everyone. And today we'll walk through the timeline of the road propulsion system. Like the first 1 to 2 weeks, we check the components, engine, and transmission. What are the main components? And from there, we go for the ordering week, which will take around 1 to 2 weeks. What are the necessary producing parts, and compatibility with specifications. And here comes the receiving part. The receiving part will take place after the once the hull and material is almost the base of the boat will complete, then we receive the material in order to save the inventory and everything. This is the crucial construction and installation part. It will take go for around 4 to 6 weeks. Integration of propulsion systems and board framework, installing major components. Once built, we'll conduct the testing with around to 1 to 2 weeks to check the functionality, system performance, everything. After that, you go for C testing, and it's like we evaluate the real world performance, fuel efficiencies. We take around 1 to 2 weeks, and finally, we it is for going to delivery like 1 week. The system we hand over to client, documentation, training, what are the required things. Then you can think everything on Gantt chart. What are the according to the schedule? What are the timings? Everything from here. My friend will continue.
Hi, everyone. Now we will be going over the electrical system. So the electrical system is a critical part of this project because it is how we are going to ensure power distribution for all of our onboard systems. Our approach follows a structured timeline to keep everything on track. So therefore, planning will take place within week 2 and last roughly 1 week, where we finalize the layout and determine all necessary components. Then we'll go into ordering, which will begin in week 3 and will be completed within a week to 2 weeks to prevent delays. Orders will, or once orders are placed, we will allow 4 to 5 weeks for receiving materials and verifying quality. Installation starts in week 6 and runs for 5 weeks, covering wiring, panel setup, and system integration, with completion in week 10. After installation, testing will begin in week 15 and continue through week 17 to ensure system functions correctly. Before final sea trials, this phase is crucial to identifying and resolving any potential issues before the boat is fully operational. By following this timeline, we can ensure that the electrical system is reliable, efficient, and ready for real-world use. Next.
Yep, and then the freshwater system, one of the less essential ones, but still great for a boat to have. It follows a very similar schedule. It's going to have the planning on week 2. Ordering and receiving will be delayed a little bit for budgetary purposes because we don't need to order those at the very beginning since they can't be installed until after the majority of the boat is built in anyway. So then install will take place in weeks 14 and 15, kind of just as the rest of the boat's being finished up. The freshwater system will be put in place, hooked up to the electrical, and ready to go. Then testing will occur right before our sea testing to give room for any delays that could have happened in the install.
And for the navigation system, we'll be planning in week 2 along with the other systems. Custom built ensures proper budget allocations and it also fits on par with other subsystems. And once the planning is done, we move to ordering components for navigation systems in week 4, as navigation system has 2 parts, which is the steering, the other one is all the GPS and stuff. So we're gonna order it together to make sure we get it for the less cost as possible. And then as there are no custom parts, we'll be receiving the parts in almost by week 5. And then the installation is done in 2 parts, week 6 for steering navigation, and then week 15 for navigation radars and communication devices, once all the electrical work is done. And testing will be in week 16. And once the electrical system is up and running, we can have our navigation boards online. Next.
Into sanitation system, the sanitation system is a crucial part of the project for ensuring proper waste management and hygiene. The planning will be taken in week 2. It continues for 1 week. It ensures the design alignment and budget allocation integration with the other subsystems. And ordering will be done in week 3 for all components, and the releasing will be done in week 4. And the construction and installation part is carried out between 4 weeks from week 8 to week 11, including the plumbing and waste management and ventilation setup. Everything is done during these 4 weeks. And the testing will be done in week 15 for 1 week to ensure the system functionality test and performance evaluation will be include waste disposal efficiency. All the necessary adjustment is done in this 15 week before the final approval, and my friend will continue.
Yeah, coming through the anchoring system timeline, covering the key phases of planning to testing. So we start with the planning in second week, ensuring the system aligned with the budget and design requirements. Next, in ordering happens in the 10th week, allow sufficient time for the vendor selections and procurement. Once the component arrives, we receive the material around a week schedule on week 11. You inspect the parts, incoming quality and compliance. Then installation will take place at week 12, like integrating critical components such as anchoring, wind wheel chains, etc. Finally, the testing is placed on week 16, where we can validate functionality, structures, and the real-world performance. And then the structural approach ensure reliability and efficiency, anchoring system, and all those for safe operations. Then we continue from my friend.
So for research equipment, making sure that the boat is ready for any marine research. So specifically for this would be installing a crane. And this is contingent mostly on the electrical system being installed ahead of time. So the parts would be ordered later on during week 12 and ordered and received on week 13. Installation will occur during week 15 with some allowance for delivery slippage. And then testing will occur once the cables are terminated and installed during week 17.
Here are some of our references, and then in our backup slides, we have our full Gantt chart, which includes the sea testing and all of the delivery breakdowns as well as per thing, and our full LRC. Thank y'all. I believe that concludes our presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you.